Come get your first look at the Heroes of the Resistance new expansion from FFG. Spiky Bits. Make sure you stay in the trenches by becoming a supporter over on Patreon and also scoring yourself some free miniature swag in the process. Subscribe to this YouTube channel. Check out our site, spikybits.com, for all the hot hobby tutorials, news, rumors on all your favorite hobby topics. And head on over to thelongwar.net. That's the home of the battle reports for exclusive content, early access videos, and more. Become a veteran of the Long War today. Welcome back, X-Wing Maniacs. Rob Baer here with the first look video review of the new Heroes of Resistance expansion pack from FFG, or Asmodee, whatever you want to call them these days. I'm just going to keep saying FFG till I turn blue in the face, because that's what I know them as, right? This is a really exciting set here that just came out, brand spanking new, that has a lot of cards in here that are really interesting and have a ton of different mechanics. So let's dive right in. This new expansion comes with the following cards. Of course, you get a YT 1300, which we know is the Falcon. In the new configuration, we're definitely going to compare and contrast this one versus the existing miniature out there. You get a T70, which comes with the black one title, which I thought posed tie was a T85, but we'll get to that one. I'm sure somebody will out-nerd me out there, but apparently this is a T70 according to the packages here. And then all sorts of upgrade cards and things like that. Now, it's got what I thought was cool in here is it's got two of the integrated Astromechs, which previously you could only get in the single expansion for the T70. So a lot of people are buying it just for that. But now you get two in here, which is kind of nice. So it's kind of like, do I buy the T70? Do I buy this? I don't know. Of course, I've already got them, so it doesn't matter for me. But some of you new folks out there that might be getting into the game, yeah, you're gonna have to kind of look at that, whether it's worth picking those up for the pilot cards. And then jumping in here and getting this one. This particular set retails for $39.95. It comes with these two ships, of course, and like I said, in the back section here, it's going to come with all of the exciting upgrades. Now, there is a lot of stuff in here, and we just saw a new round of FAQs come out from an FFG. They changed things up, and I'm not exactly sure how a lot of this is going to apply to any of that FAQs, because I can see where some of it was designed to work a certain way, but I don't think it really disrupts or kind of messes. The FAQ didn't really mess with any of these cards, from what I can tell. So once you get yours open, you'll see, you get the obligatory, hey, this is what you get. Here's all, the cards, 2 snapshots, 2 trick shots, Finn, Hotshot, Co-Pilot, which I don't think a lot of people even knew that card was coming out. I certainly didn't. Ray, M9G8, which is a really interesting Astromech, 2 Burnout Slams, 1 Prime Thruster, 2 Pattern Analyzers, a Falcon, a black one, 2 integrated Astromechs that I already talked about, and 1 of the smuggling compartment, which is going to be great for the Falcon and also, I imagine, Dash Rendar's ship, the 2400, I guess. So here's all the explanations on things. You guys already know that, being the veterans you are. The T70 has 17 maneuvers. The 1300 Falcon has, I believe, 16 maneuvers, but they do have an interesting range of maneuvers if you start taking a look and breaking it down. Of course, the Falcon is a fast ship. It isn't incredibly maneuverable. Of course, a lot of people like to put boost on it, but that being said, it is still a good ship in and of itself that does a little bit more. I mean, it's no U-boat, of course. You can't do those really tight turns and things, but it is still pretty good. Okay, and then you've got the cards, which come with, you get your normal cards here, your T70 cards, your dials, some mission stuff here. Of course, if you buy the very specific, those little dials, the custom dials, this one helps you keep track of all that. So nothing too crazy here that we wouldn't expect to see. And then, of course, you get your stands and your little flippy doos, your dial markers or dial things. Interesting side note, don't use your teeth to snap those together, otherwise you may discover you had a previously unknown cavity and lead to a whole year's worth of dental work and repair. I'm not saying that happened to me. I'm just saying you might want to be more careful when you bite into hard plastic items. Okay, fine, it happened to me. Anyways, that's all part of growing up, I suppose. Even when you brush, sometimes you don't realize you're not brushing good enough. So here are the new pilots as far as the Falcon goes. Let's zoom out a little bit on that for you. because these are really interesting. So you've got Han, which of course, nothing new there. When he dropped, everybody lost their proverbial poop sticks because he is so good. I mean, you just basically set him up, range 3 away from people, and you're like, yo, here I am, deal with me. Oh, you got a little Imperial Slaughter right there? That's cute. Oh, you got, you know, Sunter Phil right there. Well, I feel like you're not going to be able to arc dodge me from the behind, are you? So really, really interesting mechanics. We're going to see all sorts of sneakiness with that. And then you got Resistance Sympathizer, which is just basically a watered down version of it. Then you've got Rey, which of course synergizes Pilot Rey, synergizes really well with Finn, of course, which we'll get to. And then Chewbacca, who is, you know, the first Chewbacca wasn't, it didn't, people, I don't know what to say about it. I mean, it's okay. You can see it. You can read it there for yourself, I'm sure. But I feel like it's situational. Maybe there's a combo. Maybe there's something I'm not seeing. Obviously, leave it in the comments below if you got something for this. But I don't have much for this one right here. Rey, it's great though. When attacking or defending, if the enemy ship is in your firing arc, and you may reroll up to 2 of your blanks. And of course, Finn gives her an extra blank, so you're getting all these rerolls and stuff. So she could roll hot. She's definitely rolling average for the most part, as far as I can tell. Pilot skill 8 is always good. Then you've got coming in the X-Wings. So you've got Nub making his return from Return to the Jedi, of course, firing on board the Falcon that fired the shot that took out the last Death Star, and of course going up against Starkiller Base itself with Poe and his team. And then you've got, he actually saved Princess Leia too in the backstory and fluff. Then you've got Poe coming in, Blue Squadron Novice and Red Squadron Veteran. Of course, we saw those already previously. Now, Poe right here, same card as previous scene, except for one glaring obvious difference. Pilot skill 9 to pilot skill 8. Costs 2 points more. Okay, that's fair. I can see that. Then you've got these new ones. Nin Nub, Snap Wexley loves to do boosts, and I mean all sorts of different stuff there. I suppose you could I guess you could get a barrel roll on him if you really wanted to, I suppose. Jess here, when attacking or defending, you may reroll 1 of your dice for each other friendly ship at range 1. So it's kind of like a mini Howl Runner, but not quite. Yeah, I guess doesn't get extra dice, gets to reroll dice. I'm a fan for rerolling dice. And then Nub, when you receive a stress token, if there are enemy ships inside your firing arc at range 1, you may discard that stress token. So if he's on the hunt, he is definitely on the hunt there. Now, these guys are all good. I feel like it's kind of weird. Like, I don't know what to make of it when the game is called X-Wing and we don't see X-Wing ships really getting played quite as much. Of course, the normal T-65s. Now here's you see the T-70s out there, but man, you just don't see the T-65s like you used to, especially with Biggs getting the big nerf back now. So you got Snapshot coming in. That's a brand new card. And then we got Trick Shot, which is also a really interesting card. Burnout Slam, which combos very well with, where is it? Wait for it. Smuggling Compartment. Boom. Now, this is not specific, so it is illicit. You can throw it on any of your scum stuff, but more importantly, you can get it on DYT 1300 and 2400 as well for the Rebels. So that's kind of cool to see, right? Then you've got 2 different cards that are very interesting and also yet very different in theory and also practicality. You got Pattern Analyzer and Prime Thrusters, which the case can be made for using one over the other in specific instances. Then Hotshot Copilot, again, a card not a lot of people knew about it. I certainly didn't. Maybe people following it really tightly did. That one eluded my grasp. Finn and Rey Crew, of course. Then M9 G8, Falcon title, Black 1 title, and integrated Astromechs. We've already seen the integrated Astromechs, not really going to talk about that much. But we need to talk about these cards here because there's quite a bit to say. Snapshot I like. Snapshot's pretty cool because as far as I read it, it's a 2 dice attack at range 1. If something gets into your fire arc where you could attack it, before it can boost out or barrel roll out, you get to initiate attack. Now, you don't get to do your normal attack, but you know what? If they tried to arc dodge you, you wouldn't get to attack anyways, most likely, through doing those actions. So I kind of like that. It is an EPT slot, so it's 50-50 what you could put it on. I could see its usefulness, but I could also see some things that wouldn't even run it to begin with. Trick Shot I like. Again, another EPT. I feel like maybe that's a card that A-Wings could really kind of dig, because when attacking, if the attack is obstructed, you may roll one additional attack dice. So A-Wings are maneuverable enough to be able to set up those kind of arcs and get those extra dice, even though it would perhaps give the defender an extra defend dice. Who cares, right? When you're rolling, you know, multiple dice. I kind of dig it. I think well, it's a trick shot, so it's going to be a trick card. It's not going to be something you see a lot. But when you start combining that with things like crack shot, I could really see it being super effective. Anytime you're giving me an extra dice or let me re-roll a dice, I'm all about it. Burnout Slam, obviously, it's a kind of a one-use discardable slam card, but being able to perform that slam action when you need to bug out or get into that super sweet maneuver, I don't know, just to get somewhere you really need to be at a specific place. It's cool because you just have to do that speed, but you don't have to do that bearing on your dial. So you wanted to go 3 and you went 3 straight, and maybe you want to, you know, do a bank. Well, hey, that's cool. It's the same vice versa with all those whatever one you had revealed during your maneuver step. Smuggling compartment, we talked about that. Pattern analyzer. Now this one's really interesting. After executing a maneuver, you may resolve the check pilot stress step after pilot action step instead of before that step. So basically what that's saying to me is that you get to perform your maneuver, now do an action before you become stressed. So say you do your red maneuver, technically you're not stressed when you go to perform that action, which can lead and open up a whole lot of cans of worms and combo chains and things that I feel is really cool. Being able to set yourself up for that is pretty dope. Now it is going to be restricted to people with the tech slot, so you're talking, you know, basically that one tie and the X-Wing, the new X-Wing. So yeah, it is what it is. Prime thrusters I like. A lot of people are like, well, what's the case for each? Well, prime thrusters just happens. Like, so say you take stress from, you didn't plan on taking the stress. Well, now you're good, right? So this is good for stuff that likes to barrel roll, likes to boost, whatever. I feel like it's good for those type of new X-Wing and ties that we just talked about, the ones that can literally equip it. Very good. Obviously, Snap it would be good on. The barrel rolling tie would be good on. You know, that's kind of where I'm at on that card. Black one seems pretty good because, well, let's face it. If you saw the movie, you know what that particular ship does. If you perform a boost or barrel roll action, you may remove one enemy target lock from a friendly ship at range 1. If you cannot equip this, you cannot equip this card to a pilot skill of 6 or lower, which, you know, makes sense. So it's just another benefit to running it on the T-70 there. Now, Hotshot Copilot, this is really cool because basically it's that dude that just kind of runs in and makes everybody kind of adapt to his battle plan. So it's the same thing like in D&D. It's the guy that always runs into the bar and does dumb shit. You know, this is the guy that runs in and starts shooting, and you have to use all of your focus to defend against him. And if he's out there doing random stuff, he's basically your wild card. And it forces your enemy or the enemy fleet to adapt to him and burn all those focuses, and allows you to kind of come up with the rest of your fleet and kind of adapt to this wild card and set up all these other combos that he is not forced or perhaps seeing clearly, because he's like, this guy's in my face, you know, you ain't gonna put this on a chump, you're gonna put this on somebody strong, and boom, you know, it turns into a whole thing. So I like it. It sets up a lot of things. So when attacking with primary weapon, the defender must spend 1 focus. When defending, the attacker must spend 1 focus dice. So you're getting to dictate the terms of battle, which I think is really good. Finn, I feel like it's overpriced, but combos so well with Pilot Ray. I understand where they're coming from. It's kind of like Dengar is so overpointed when you put the title or the Punishing 1 title on the Jumpmaster, but then you start to understand why, because the abuse potential is there. I see the abuse potential here, and I understand it, but that's the only way you're ever going to run this card. So it's fluffy, but you pay for it, I feel like. Ray single, I'm not exactly sure where its place is, or crew rather. It's basically like a Moldy Crow. Like you get to before you discard all your tokens, you get to save a token, and you get to get a token back, because you don't have to discard until, of course, the end step, the cleanup phase or whatever. But So she's basically like a mini moldy crow, I guess, but I feel like a lot of times you might take Kyle Katarran too. So I don't know, I'm kind of torn on it, but I like her. And then M9G8, you can acquire target lots on other friendly ships, right? So that's the key that I think we all need to recognize right here. So you can acquire target lots on other friendly ships. When a ship you have locked is attacking you, and you may choose one attack die, the attacker must reroll that die, right? So when a ship you have locked is attacking, you may choose one attack die. So it's both defensive and offensive in nature as well. If you think about how it's worded there, when a ship you have locked is attacking, you may choose one attack die. The attacker must reroll that die. So say your ship locks the enemy. When that ship you have locked is attacking you, you may choose one attack dice that they're shooting you with. The attacker must reroll that attack die. But conversely, if you lock one of your friendly ships, you now get to choose one of those dice that friendly ship, because he's now the attacker, is attacking, you can reroll. So it's like a built-in predator almost. So I don't know, it's tricksy the way it's worded, but I like it. I like where they're going with this, and I like the functionality here, because this almost makes the old X-Wings playable almost. Now, I'm not a trendsetter. I'm not walking the razor's edge here on this game, but I can definitely see some coolness when you dangle it in front of my face. Now, I'm not going to say that this is going to bring X-Wings back, but it gives the T-65 a little bit of a chance. I feel like it would be really good with Biggs, but again, after the FAQ, I'm not sure how much more Biggs we're going to see. And then, of course, the Falcon, everybody knows about this one by now. After you execute a 3-speed bank maneuver, if you're not touching another ship and you are not stressed, you can receive 1 stress to rotate your ship back around. So it's basically like a freebie. Which I dig, because that's the big problem with the Falcon, is not being able to get that ass around quick enough. You know, that's why so many people would take boost. So now that kind of almost frees you up to take the smuggling compartments, to take the burnout slam, and not have to worry about taking boost if you're taking the title. So I feel like this combo you're going to see a lot here in the future, even maybe with Han Solo and stuff. So I don't know, I'm really excited for these cards. I think this is more exciting to me than the last, I guess, wave of ships was, because it just didn't seem that exciting. Now, let's look at the ships themselves, because I know people are like, yo, you just talked about the cards forever. Let's take a look at the ships. So, question, is the brand new Falcon different? Answer, yes, it is. It is a different mold, which is really cool to see. And of course, the little paint job here, everybody was doing their little, doing their pose to be like the black one. Well, here it is. Now you don't have to paint your stuff. You can just buy it. Very cool looking here. Now this is actually different. You can't see a whole lot of different things on the top, but let's take a look. This is the normal Falcon right here. Now at cursory look, it looks to be exactly the same. But you might notice there's some paneling issues or differences back here. Of course, the dishes are different. It turns out one of these went through Death Star. One hasn't. And then when you flip on the back, you can definitely notice a lot more differences with the gear down here. These sections here, maybe there's some sort of cargo pods. I don't know. A lot of this is the same, but there's still some noticeable differences. So it's not just FFG. You're just using the same mold and putting a different dish on it, right? Now, one really, really cool difference is, boom, look at that thruster. Love that thruster glow. So FFG is definitely coming on strong with their new miniature paint scheme game. There's actually like texture in there. There's a whole nother separate piece they made to go in there. So it's pretty cool stuff. I am really digging this expansion. I think it's probably a must-have if you've been on the fence about picking up more ships. This is probably the way to go. I can't say enough about it. We may do it a little tips and tactics on some combos and things, but I think I pretty much covered it all. Obviously, if I left anything out, comments, omissions, errors, just drop them in the comments below and we'll get to them.
Deleted scenes, bonus content, and all the interviews and post-game wrap-up videos can be located in the Hall of Veterans on thelongwar.net. Visit thelongwar.net today and try a week completely free with no strings attached. That's not all. TheLongWar.net is also your hobby resource for exclusive early access with an ad-free experience to all your favorite videos. Members of the Hall of Veterans gain early exclusive access to multiple hobby videos.